You're watching Morning Markets on BNN Bloomberg. We are watching the markets take a little bit of a dip for a second day in a row. To discuss, we've still got Francis Horodelsky with me on the desk and Mark Sebastian, founder of OptionPit.com. And Mark, I know you used to talk to Francis back in the day when she was on the desk full time. So Francis, I'm going to give it to you. You asked Mark the first question.
Good morning, Mark. Nice to see you. Let's talk with what the market is doing. We came off the lows last October with like a train out of a tunnel. Some people are worried about that. Maybe we went too far too fast. Where do you stand on kind of that big picture of where the market is right now?
Today is maybe the most important day of the year in terms of what's going to happen over the next the next month, 2 months. We are below key support right now in the S&P 500, which is 4080. Up until a couple of weeks ago, the S&P had been in a really consistent downtrend. You could literally draw every single top and it would run into like a smooth line, like nothing I usually get to see. And we finally broke that in the middle of January, broke over, and it looked like we were taking off. Then yesterday, I mean, up until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if you'd asked me whether we're going to end up on the day, I would have said yes. Then we just fell off like a cliff, and now we're below that key support. Next stop from there would put us back in this trend line, which would take us down to about 3980 before we would start hitting 3960 before we'd start hitting some real resistance in the S&P 500.
And so are you watching for a breakout back above those levels? What do you think the risk is? A risk of a 10% upside move or downside?
I mean, so here's the way things set up. All right, if we can get back above 4080 on the day, hold support, then we probably go back to chop with kind of a slow move higher. If today gets worse and we melt and we close lower, we fall more today than we did on Thursday, then we set up for the really bad trade, which is the ugly Thursday, bad, even worse Friday. Then everybody looks at their portfolio, sees the S&P 500 is still over 4,000. Money managers have made a ton of money this year. And you get what could be some real selling on Tuesday, really get a push lower, something ugly. Maybe then we build from there. My long-term view on market for the year is that we are in a declining volatility market. We maybe have this one last gasp of the market pulling back. But by the time when I'm talking to you in 6 or 7 months, we're going to be dealing with a higher S&P 500. And I think the VIX is going to be consistently below 15.
You mentioned a bunch of things there, but today is Friday. It's option expiry. Monday's a holiday. And I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but there are new instruments out there. There's the days to expiry options. There's all kinds of things that are playing into the calculation of vol right now, or not playing into the calculation of volatility. How are all of those new products affecting what we're seeing on a day-to-day basis in the S&P?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing algorithms use these options to play key levels. So, and you're seeing intraday standard deviations off the volume weighted average price be key levels for intraday trading. I don't think they're having a big change in day-to-day trend, but the intraday volatility that you're seeing and the speed with which some of these moves can happen, I think has absolutely been increased by zero DTE S&P options. The other thing zero DTE options are doing is they're quieting down the VIX. VIX can still make big, huge moves when we have these swelling moments of volatility. Think March of 2020. But what you're not seeing is the VIX get these huge spikes on a 1 or 2 day sell-off. Why? Because traders can go in and just buy a put that expires this afternoon to hedge the downside risk of falling 100. They don't need to go buy those monthly options that VIX really looks at.
All right, you two, that's enough.
I said not to get into the weeds.
Yeah, we're in the weeds. I'm going to extract us now.
I tried to keep it up here.
Yeah, let's go back. And I want to talk some trade ideas. One of the things,
Sure.
Mark, that I was talking about yesterday, and I know Francis loves this, is when you see big divergence. So recently in AI, you've seen Microsoft gap higher at the expense of Google. And I always like to see if somebody's willing to get in front of that, if they're willing to time it. Do you think it's time for that gap to narrow? Is it still too early as everybody pegs Microsoft as the kind of early winner in the AI battle?
Yeah, I think it's probably been a little overplayed. Microsoft has moved really hard, really fast. Google has kind of taken on the chin. There's a value there. You can do a pair, long Google, short Microsoft, or just simply rotate. I'd be taking some money off the table in Microsoft and rotating it back into Google. Google's not going to be down for the count on this one. They're putting a lot behind it. It's crazy how AI is like the new crypto. It's the new .com. I want to say every single tech company mentioned AI at least a dozen times in their earnings call. If you did, your stock went up. That's what saved Apple's earnings. So, but yes, I think Google is probably at a spot where near term, I'm looking for it to go back over 100, 105, somewhere in that range. On a trading basis, it's probably the better value of the two.
And for a little bit of a different play in AI, what about Palantir, which I think of as AI, but also cybersecurity, government, spy stuff.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's very much an AI play. It's a data play, big data, and I think it's a stock that you look at some of these meme names that got really hot in 2021 and 2020. It was certainly one of those, but they're not all garbage. Some of them actually do have a future, and Palantir is one of them. With it trading where it is right now, let me double check here. With it trading, it's $9.25, down a little bit. This is an opportunity, I think, to pick it up. It's eventually going to get over 10 and stay there and probably head to 15.